What's going on? What's up? What's up? You know that sound? Even though this is not a podcast, but it's just a reminder of who the originator is. It's your boy, Border Rock 77. You know what I'm saying? Host of the 60 Frames No Like podcast every Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. But today is just a quick, I don't want to say quick, but normally I would do a recorded video, but I want to do this live because there's a concern I have. And I have so much concern over this that what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to switch to a live video. So now you get to see my face. You get to see, sometimes, a lot of times when I do recorded video, I record it and then I just upload it and hopefully they need just the camera a little bit. I apologize. I got a good camera. I got the C390, whatever the hell this model is. You know what I'm saying? What's the model camera? Everybody's using it. The C920. Yeah, the C920 Logitech. Supposedly it's great for videos and stuff like that. But I have to learn about lighting because I see other people use it and it looks so much better than what I'm displaying right now. If anybody has links or tips or ideas to improve my image quality, because I would like to do that for you guys, by all means, please. I try to research and stuff like that. I'm also looking into getting a better mic so I could get better voice quality. Just to improve the experience. If I'm going to do this, I want to do it, to the best I can, so that way you guys get a better visual and audio experience and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But anyway, if I'm not looking at you, I apologize because I have the YouTube, up and I'm looking at the comment box and I'm looking back and forth. Hey, Mark Woodland, damn, appreciate it. What's up, bro? Hey, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Yo, Mark is an Xbox dude, but I call him my brother from another mother because we're like, I'm a PlayStation dude, and he's an Xbox dude, but we're both like so alike. We're both family men. We're both raising children. Well, I raised my child. My child's a lot older. But we both have the same things, and we're both so alike in many ways. So it's awesome having them support me and stuff like that. Appreciate it. Thank you for stopping by. It's awesome that you're here. I don't know if you heard, but the East Coast is going through a little hurricane. It's going up from Florida, and now it's heading my way here in North Carolina. So not much to do. Weather sucks out there. I'm about to get on some gaming, but I thought about something because this is something. The topic that I want to talk about is something that's I don't want to say bother me, but it's a little concern. For those of you that's been around with me, I don't have a lot of subscribers. I don't have a lot of followers in Twitter and stuff like that. But what I do got, I appreciate. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it because they're genuine. I think I have a very good group of genuine people that that support me and all that stuff. And a lot of them are Xbox dudes. A lot. Now, the reason why I say a lot of them are Xbox dudes because I am I don't want to use the term pro. I prefer PlayStation. I don't have a pro con. I'm not for or against PlayStation. I'm not for or against Xbox. It's just a choice. It's kind of like Pepsi. You know what I'm saying? I prefer Pepsi over Coke. Does that mean that I think Coke sucks? It's just a taste. I prefer drinking Pepsi. I don't like seafood. It's just preference. It's just what you enjoy because that's what gaming does. Okay. And you got this console war aspect of gaming, which is always part of gaming. Some people say it's infectious, it's disease, ruining gaming. To me, console warring only ruins it for yourself, not for others. Because what I always say is, when you log off of social media, when you log off the internet, when you're no longer on YouTube, whether you're making a video or you subscribe to somebody who makes a video and you make comments, however involvement you have, when you log off and you log onto your game console, your enjoyment is between you and your game console. At the end of the day, that's really what comes down to it. That interaction between you and the console or platform of your choice. I'll say platform because PC is not a console; it's a platform. And even if it's a handheld, even if it's I don't got my phone here, a mobile phone, whatever, it's between you and that device that provides enjoyment. Okay. But the console war can ruin it for yourself if you don't put yourself in check. All right, that's the best way I could put it. The level of investment you have in this, you have to be careful. You have to curb your involvement or how passionate you are. You know what I'm saying? Now, when I applaud passion to gamers, it's because they love gaming, they enjoy the gaming. Oh snap, Dizzo, what's going on? Testing, testing. Thanks for showing up. I appreciate it. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for stopping by. But the passion deals with just having the fun in gaming, all right? Or the critique in gaming, like this game ain't so good. You know, the things, the interactions you do with other people. I'll give you a perfect example. I'm a very passionate gamer myself. So last gen, last gen, my preferred console was the PS3 because of the games it had. You know what I'm saying? But when a lot of people ask me what console I should get, I always ask them what they want. You know what I'm saying? What are they trying to get out of it? 90% was Call of Duty. That was 90% of the what they want. Oh, I want to play Call of Duty. Call of Duty. So I'm like, if that's the case, get an Xbox 360. And then they asked me why. Well, I told them because one, mainly because if you're gonna enjoy Call of Duty and that's really what you're gonna play, you're probably gonna buy the map packs. And the Xbox 360 gets the map pack first. You know what I'm saying? Two, the culture, you'll be surrounded by more shooter players than you will on PS3. You know what I'm saying? So if that's what you want, if that's what you're going for, then I always recommend 360. I didn't use my personal taste to recommend it for somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, the enjoyment is between that person and the console or the device. You know what I mean? Now, the title, I'm concerned about the Xbox community. You know what I'm saying? Microsoft over the last 2-3 months, Phil Spencer, he's doing great strides to make the Xbox brand better. He's trying to get back with what was done with the 360 during the first 3-4 years, you know, where that Xbox 360 was known as the great gaming console, especially in North America. He's bringing it back. But I think because of the last 2 years, many in the Xbox community, they let the PlayStation fanboys get to them. You know, all the bashing, the attacking, 1080p, Xbox sucks, you know. They developed this association in the console war that now it's serious. It's serious business. And and then from here on out, every little thing Xbox, Microsoft does or Sony does, they're using it to build this narrative to attack back. But it's not in good fun or just chilling. It's like serious to the point where it's impacting the decision making to enjoy games. One example is what recently we had with the blue disc, green disc tobacco, right? A producer simply posts a PlayStation 4 discs, right? A guy replied, "Where's the Xbox One disc?" And the producer made a comment, "Green discs aren't sexy." Now let's assume he literally meant that the Xbox One disc is ugly looking. Okay, how can that statement agitate you as a gamer? You know, think about it. It's a disc. If I told you, yo, your Xbox One disc looks like a plate of green boogers, what is your response to that statement? If I told you guys that, hey, your Xbox One looks like a plate of green boogers, do you feel I offended you? Do you feel some type of association with that statement? Do you see my statement as something attacking you? You understand what I'm saying? Do you see that as a derogatory term? Do you feel that as a personal attack on you? You understand what I'm saying? If I were to say, let's say if your favorite drink is Coke, I'd be like, man, Coca-Cola tastes disgusting. Do you receive that information as something personally attacking you? If I were to say, let's say your favorite place to eat is a seafood restaurant, and I can't stand seafood, I'm like, I cannot stand seafood. It's just straight up disgusting. Do you associate that statement with you being personally attacked because you like seafood? In fact, let's say your favorite food is seafood. Do you associate that? You know, if you're a fan of Ford Mustangs and people say, man, Ford sucks, they make garbage cars, they're unreliable, is that an attack on you personally? You see what I'm saying? Do you feel agitated enough? You know? So going back to the disc, when the developer said green discs aren't sexy, does that make you agitated to the point where You're like, you know what? I'm not even gonna buy Titanfall 2 no more because of what this one man said. Or Microsoft has the marketing rights, and because you put a blue disc on your Twitter, I'm not gonna buy your game because you're not respecting Microsoft. You see what I'm saying? You're creating conditions where you're gonna ruin the generation for yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be the PlayStation gamers. You understand what I'm saying? I'll give you an example. I'm gonna tell you. Let's look at other things. I challenge you to do this with a clear mind to the Xbox community. All right? Because I'm gonna tell you something I did, and after I challenge you this, I'm gonna explain why I'm challenging you this. All right? I want you to look at all your favorite pro Xbox channels. Okay? Go to your favorite pro Xbox channels, wherever it is, and then when you go to their channel, you know on the top, you know it says home, video, playlist, all that. Click on video. It's gonna show you every video they made. Right? Every video. Look at every single video that they've done. Everything they record, every podcast, every 10-minute, 12-minute video they do. Okay? Scroll through video after video. Look at 20. Look at the last 30 and see how many Xbox topics they talk about versus PlayStation topics. Okay? And then look to see if they even do videos of streams. See if they even talk about games they're playing and showing it. Just take a look at it. See what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I looked at probably, in terms of YouTube, one of the biggest PlayStation, you could say, fanboys out there, which is Jay Barry. I think many of us know Jay Barry. He will talk shit about Xbox. He does it all the time. I'm Bang Bang. I'm not a part of Bang Bang. I try to keep Facebook out of this. So Facebook, I try to keep my hobby out of it. Not because I'm embarrassed or anything, but that's just one place I interact with a lot of people. So I don't really do much on there when it comes to that. But Twitter and YouTube, whatever. But he does a lot. But go look at his channel. Most of his stuff is talking about PlayStation. Now, he talks about a lot of games I never heard of, but he's talking about it, and he does a lot of streams of games. You see him play Street Fighter. You see him play some weird fighting games. He plays King of Fighters. He plays a lot in stream. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's like the biggest PlayStation fanboy there is. You look at other PlayStation channels, the bigger ones, obviously. Obviously, you're going to have those little troll channels with like 10 subscribers, whatever. Because some people will do that. I'm talking about the bigger channels. Channels where it's an established, huge channel. And a lot of people are subscribed to it, okay? I would say I could point out maybe one channel, one PlayStation channel that is a troll channel. And I think that's JTech TV. Right? Now, if you don't know JTech TV, last gen, he was Pyro 2000. All right? So this dude was fanboying last gen. So he's just continuing the very thing he started last gen. That's why he has a lot of people. So I would say that's a legit PlayStation fanboy channel that bashes Xbox a lot. I would concede to that. You know what I'm saying? That's the one I could think of at the top of my head. Other ones that are big, I don't see a lot. You know what I'm saying? Not like that. All right? Okay? But look at the Xbox. There are a lot of big Xbox channels. There's a lot. They grew. That community in YouTube grew, and they have a powerful presence. You know what I'm saying? Lots of subscribers. They have consistent podcasts. Very well known. You know, so even a lot of PlayStation gamers know who has a podcast on Sunday, who has a podcast on Monday, why Xbox guy has a podcast on Wednesday, why Xbox guy has a podcast on Saturday and Friday. You know what I'm saying? They have a consistent, huge following and stuff like that. But click on video and look at their playlist. You're going to see a lot of PlayStation bashing. A lot of PlayStation bashing. A lot. Which is, hey, what's up, Mongolian Chop? You know what I'm saying? What's up, Villazu? Is that how you pronounce it? Villetzu? Vilzu? I hope I'm pronouncing it right. I don't want to mess up your name. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, going back. So there's a lot. Now, this is what I'm concerned about, where you could ruin the gen for yourselves. Let's take, for example, Gears of War. All right? Gears of War 4 came out. All right? It looks like a great game. I see the reviews. Great reviews. I think it's averaging 85 on Metacritic. Great reviews. You understand what I'm saying? It's a great game. And a lot of you are enjoying it. But there's a huge discussion on why it didn't outscore Uncharted 4. And that's the big thing now. Media bias. It didn't score Uncharted 4. This is bullshit. Why are you worrying about the game outscoring Uncharted 4? You know what I'm saying? You ended up with a great game, with a great multiplayer. They improved Horde mode. Why are you worrying about? Hell, most reviews already had the game purchased, so it doesn't matter what reviews came out. You guys were already all in on the game. You guys already pre-ordered the Gears of War custom console. You guys already had the game ready to download. You guys bought the collector editions. You guys already made the decision to buy the game and you were ready to play it. Why is the reviews such a big deal? You know what I'm saying? But you're making it into a big deal, which in turn is going to ruin the experience for you guys because you're more concerned about the game. Some of you are concerned about the game outscoring Uncharted 4 because you want to talk shit, saying, haha, Gears of War is a better game than Uncharted 4. Look at the Metacritic. Instead of just leaving it alone. What's done is done. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, sure. The day it comes out, the review, then score 85, cool, then move on. You know, you had your little fun. Take your lickings, take your loss. It's social media shit. But once you log off of social media, enjoy the game, and then that's it. Keep it moving. You understand what I'm saying? The next thing I'm concerned about, you know what I'm saying? The Scorpio versus PS4 thing. You know what I'm saying? That Scorpio's not coming out for a while. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be next year. It's going to take a while, you know, before it comes out. Or just V, like my friends do. That's what I'm going to do. All right, I'm going to call you a V. All right. All right, what's up, V? Okay? But let's say like Scorpio. Okay? It seems like every day, almost every podcast, Scorpio comes up and PS4 Pro. You know what I'm saying? It's going to get to the point that when Scorpio drops, it better be the best looking console games in the history of gaming. Because you're setting these huge expectations and you're trying to beat it into the minds of every game out there over and over. And we're not even in December. The year's not even over. We still got the rest of October, November, December. And then we got 6 more months before E3 when the console's unveiled. So you're going to keep this up for a good while. 9, 8 months before June, and then another 2, 3 months, depending when they announce it, after June. So you're talking, oh my God, a year and a half? Almost, you know what I'm saying? Of just Scorpio, boom, 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 boom. And it's gonna get hyped so big that if this console doesn't impress people, I'm talking about a significant, huge difference from what PS4 Pro does. Or huge, like, it's almost as if Scorpio's going to be a full generation ahead of Pro at this point. And it's just going to keep on getting bigger. You know what I'm saying? And if you built this narrative that's so huge, right? And it doesn't deliver with the perception of what everybody's talking about, you can ruin Scorpio. A lot of people could be like, man, this is the shit you guys been talking about for a year and a half. I waited a year and a half and it's barely any better looking. You know what I'm saying? Because think about this. It's not like developers are going to be able to tap Scorpio's power the first day it comes out. There's still going to be a learning curve to the console. Regardless of how much power a console comes out, 100% of it is never used right from the start. Developers have to start making games for it. And through trials and tribulation, after they make the games, they realize how they could have made the games better. So then the next project will look better than the last. It's just like with PS4 right now. A lot of the games that comes out on PS4 now are better looking than the games that came out the first year. Same thing with the Xbox One. A lot of games that are coming out now for Xbox One look better than what you had at launch. You know what I'm saying? So you rarely ever get the full power right from the start. You know what I'm saying? Sure, it'll look better compared to the previous console, but what the console can provide ain't gonna come into fruition until 2-3 years down the road. So Scorpio games are gonna look it's gonna look great day one compared to what you got on Xbox One and vanilla. But obviously, a Scorpio game developed, you know, let's say it's coming out next year, 2017. So a Scorpio game that comes out in 2020 will look much better than what you got at launch. That's just the nature of the beast. You know what I'm saying? But if you set this huge expectation of, oh my God, the game's gonna look the best ever, and people see it and they be like, well, it looks good, but it's not exactly what people are talking about, at least not yet, you can ruin that. You know what I'm saying? It could get ruined. You could ruin it for yourself, you know? It's funny because, like I said, I'm not a Xbox channel by any means. I'm a gamer channel with a little bit of preference of PlayStation. But I'm the only channel that actually tried to brought some logic behind the whole green disc, blue disc. I'm the only one that's telling you guys that it's not normal to be pissed off at a developer saying green disc aren't sexy. It's not that big of a deal. It doesn't mean anything. You know what I'm saying? If you enjoy Titanfall, get Titanfall. Don't worry about a comment on Twitter. It doesn't mean anything. You know, if you buy Titanfall 2 and you put it in your Xbox, do you have friends? And did you like the game? You know, do you have friends that will play with you? And do you enjoy the game? If the answer is yes, get it. That's it. Don't worry about Microsoft marketing rights and stuff. They're all right. They're a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate. I'm pretty sure they'll take care of themselves. I'm pretty sure they have lawyers that make a lot more money than most of us. So they'll be okay. You understand? At the end of the day, it's between you and your device. Did you enjoy Titanfall 2 tech test? If the answer is yes, cool. Do you have Xbox Live Gold? Yeah, I got Xbox Live Gold. Do you have friends ready to play with you in Titanfall 2? If the answer is yes, then guess what that means? That means you should be getting Titanfall 2. Don't let this ruin the relationship you have with the console, the enjoyment you have between the console. Just go buy it and enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? Don't let this console stuff, you know what I'm saying, impact your decision. You know what I'm saying? It's just unnecessary, you know? And I know you got channels out there that are appeasing to how you feel. They're telling you, yeah, developers are screwed up. Yeah, they're disrespecting us. There's media bias. There's bullshit. Yeah, we need to boycott and teach them a lesson. You know what I'm saying? They're talking to you as if it's okay for you to be hurt that a guy talks shit about a disc. That's not okay. You shouldn't feel that way. You shouldn't be tied to that. You know what I'm saying? Ultimately, will the game bring enjoyment? Will the game, are you and your friends ready to play Titanfall 2? That's just, are you ready? Are you ready to enjoy Titanfall? Did you like the tech test? And do you have friends on your friend list saying, yeah, we're going to get Titanfall 2 and we're going to rock out and we're going to enjoy this shit? If it's yes, why is marketing rights or a comment on Twitter going to stop you from doing that? Why? What is it that makes you that? What is it? What allegiance do you have to the company's business practices that's preventing you? You know, you bought that console for a reason. It was bought for a reason, and it's for you to play games. You have Xbox Live for a reason. You chose Xbox Live over PSN for a reason, and you have your friends on your friend list for a reason. So why stop all that to worry about marketing rights? Here, how about a question? Do you even know who's in charge of writing up marketing rights? It's not Phil Spencer. It's not them. It's not Aaron Greenberg. They have people specifically in job positions to write up those contracts and to talk to those contracts. Do you even know who they are? Do you know how much money they make? No. So why are you more worried about what they do and not worried about what you do with your friends on your console with the service that you enjoy, with enjoyment that you can have? For what? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm concerned about. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm concerned about with the Xbox community. You could potentially ruin the fun times. I'm gonna tell you, majority of PlayStation gamers, I have a lot of PlayStation gamers on my friend's profile. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of them play just random games because they don't care. PlayStation gamers don't really care. That's why like PlayStation gamers is like probably the biggest community when it comes to niche Japanese games and stuff like that, you know, in arcade games and stuff like that. Outside maybe PC, but on consoles. It's because we're just random. We just play random stuff. Because everything else just doesn't matter. It's just random weird stuff. Because it's just play games. It's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying PlayStation community don't have fanboys. Of course you do. You have a lot of fanboys. You know what I'm saying? You have a lot that enjoy antagonizing the Xbox community. Excuse me. You have a lot that antagonize the Xbox community. But at the end of the day, if you type in their gamer tag on PSN Plus, you'll see what they're playing. They're playing just a lot of stuff. Even the ones who are most vocal about 1080p, you're like, oh, 1080p, Xbox sucks, it's 720p. When you look at their PlayStation ID tag, they're playing like fucking Rocket League and stuff like that. Or they're playing like fucking, you know, other arcade games that aren't graphically intensive. They're just talking shit. You know what I'm saying? They're just talking shit. You know? But when it comes to putting the money where their mouth is, they'll just straight up buy games. They're not serious about boycotting shit or whatever. You know, it doesn't really matter. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you a perfect example. Okay. Um, uh, last gen, if everybody knows who Gabe Newell is, you know, everybody should know Gabe Newell. Creator of Half Life, you know what I'm saying? Valve, Steam, all that stuff. When PlayStation 3 came out, last gen, uh, he straight up bashed the crap out of the PlayStation 3. And this was like January. This was like 2 months after its launch. He verbally said specifically that PlayStation 3 is an absolute disaster. And you can look up, type in Gabe, go to Google, type in Gabe Newell, PS3 is a disaster. And you will see his interview when he had, you know, he got an interview and you read his comments. He said the console is a complete disaster, that Sony should just stop the console now and just start all over and apologize, you know, for creating something that developers don't want and gamers don't want. You know what I'm saying? He straight up bashed the crap out of the console. You know what I'm saying? Completely bashed it, right? But yet, when he created, if you remember Orange Box, which was a collection of Half-Life games, PlayStation gamers still went out and bought it. You know what I'm saying? PlayStation gamers went out and bought the game so much that when he made Portal, he made sure Portal was a great and perfectly developed copy for the PlayStation 3. And then he changed his tune like 2-3 years later. He's like, oh, wait, PlayStation 3 is a great platform. There's a lot of good stuff. There's a lot of cool stuff about it. You know, now all of a sudden, PlayStation's cool. And when he called it a disaster, he changed his tune. You know why? Because in the end, the PlayStation gamers bought his games. They bought Half-Life. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them bought it. It was successful. So he saw that. He's like, holy shit. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it. And he made sure Portal is a great copy on the PlayStation platform. He made sure it was ran great. You know what I'm saying? Portal 2. Simply because he saw the gamers are gamers. You know what I'm saying? It didn't matter if he verbally bashed. Nobody said, oh, we're going to boycott Gabe Newell games. Because it doesn't matter. You can voice how crappy the console is. That's your opinion. It doesn't personally insult me. You know what I'm saying? As long as I can play the games that I want, you could bash my console all you want. Just make sure you put your games on it. All right? That's it. You know, because your comments doesn't personally insult me. You're not talking about my ethnicity. You're not talking about my religion. You're not talking about the color of my skin. You're not making fun of my children, my friends, or my family. You're not. None of that applies. You're not saying anything derogatory towards me. You know what I'm saying? Nothing. You're not saying anything about my culture, whatever. You don't like that PlayStation because of development issues, the sell process sucks, whatever, it doesn't matter. But if you make a game and it's a good game, I'm buying it. That's at the end of the day. Why? Because it's about me. It's about my enjoyment. And that's really what it should be about you too. Okay? I'm trying to, I apologize if you see me booking down. I'm just trying to keep up if they say anything about this. All right? Okay? You know? Now, I would say there was one thing that you guys should have been upset about when it comes to Titanfall, and that's they didn't put it on EA Access. That I totally understand. That makes sense. The fact that Titanfall didn't have early access, even though you guys are paying for a service for EA Access, and EA said that EA Games, you know, people who pay for EA Access, you know, EA Games will be part of it. Well, the game's made by Respawn, but it's being published by EA. It should be part of early access. You're paying for it. You understand what I'm saying? I get that. And that's not so much the game, that's more of the EA Access service. So people who no longer pay for EA Access, that I get. Because you're paying for something, but it's not delivering. That's normal. That's not being a fanboy about it. That's actually being a consumer. You thought you were going to get something with payment, it didn't deliver, so now you have to come and question, you know, will Mass Effect be part of early access? Probably not. You know what I'm saying? With the next Dragon Age or whatever. You know, what game, you know, now it's like a coin toss. You're giving EA your money, but now it's 50-50 on whether a game is part of the program or not. And that I can understand. People are like, yeah, I'm not going to deal with EA Access because you're not sure if you're going to get what's advertised. That's understandable. You know what I'm saying? That I get that. Because that is interfering with your enjoyment with the product that you bought. So I get that. That's pretty easy, okay? But when about what other people say, or they comment on how they talk, whatever, even a simple thing as green disc isn't sexy. I mean, I want you to think about it. that shouldn't bother anybody. You know what I'm saying? You know, especially those who saying, "Oh, I wasn't buying the game anyway." So why are you worrying about it? You know what I'm saying? That's my main thing about the concern for the Xbox community. I think it's just if you're gonna do a console war, fine, but leave it on the social media aspects, Twitter, YouTube. If you're doing it on Facebook, Facebook, but then let it go. You know what I'm saying? Your real decisions, the real decisions where you put your money towards, should be based on just one thing: your enjoyment of the actual game itself, not the stuff businessmen do. You know, not the conversations developers have with other developers. None of that matters. You're not paying to hear developers say good thing about your product. You're not paying. You didn't buy an Xbox, and for the PlayStation fans, you didn't buy a PlayStation, so that way you can hear IGN say good things or bad things, or developers say good things and bad things. What you want is information on the game. If the game has a beta, you play the beta, and if you enjoy it, and you have friends that's going to enjoy it, and you're all going to play it, then buy it. If you play the beta and you don't like the game, then don't buy it. That's it. There's nothing more to it. You know what I'm saying? If you buy a game, or if you think a company doesn't support the game with the proper DLC, or you think the game is broken, and you think the company doesn't develop quality games, you know, because it always comes out broken, they have a bad, you know, quality assurance program, then don't buy it. That's understandable. Decisions on what you do should be based off your enjoyment with the device, nothing more and stuff. Let's see. Yeah, some people are making it comments. Some people are saying, "Hey, compared to Titanfall 1, TF4 and 2 was slowed down." Okay, I'm not buying that at all. Hopefully, the full game is faster. Hey, that's a legit concern. HP North, what's up? Thanks for showing up. If you feel Titanfall 2 is a far departure of the first one, that is valid. Because what you're talking about is your enjoyment between you and the device and the game you're trying to play. If it's not providing that enjoyment, that is legit. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that. You know, a lot of people saying Titanfall 2 just feels slower. Well, that's going to impact your enjoyment. Don't buy it. And that's perfectly normal. That's perfectly fine. You know what I'm saying? That's normal. But to associate things that don't personally involve you, that's where you're treading the line of ruining the generation for you. Understand this, and this is for both communities. The other community is not going to ruin this gen for you. Xbox gamers are not going to ruin the generation of PS4 for me. You understand what I'm saying? And vice versa. PS4 gamers are not going to ruin this generation for you Xbox gamers. It's not going to happen. No one's going to ruin it. You're only doing it to yourself because you're allowing it. That's just the bottom line. It's your allowing. You know what I'm saying? You need to throttle how far deep you get into this console war. You need to throttle it. Just take it for what it is. Me, I'll give you personally, when I do this, it's just for fun and it's just to talk and conversate at a different level with other gamers. You know what I'm saying? Whether I'm on Zair's multiplayer podcast or I do my own podcast and I talk to PlayStation gamers, it's just fun and conversating with other gamers. But make no mistake, once I'm off YouTube and I'm not on Twitter and I'm on my PlayStation 4, I'm enjoying games. There's one guy in here, Dizzle, that you saw. He's my brother-in-law. Me and him, we play all the time and we have fun. It doesn't matter what other people are saying about my preferred platform. It doesn't matter. It doesn't impact what I do. Same thing. It doesn't matter what I do, like Jay Barry says about your Xbox One. You're going to enjoy it how you enjoy it, you know. But if you feel the need, if PlayStation can feel the need to defend the console on Xbox at all costs and vice versa, Xbox feels the need to defend Xbox and Bash Play at all costs, you're creating a scenario where if things don't happen, you could ruin it for yourself. For example, if some in the Xbox community, let's see, Porter Zaire is going to be on a podcast with me and Titanfall person tonight if you want to watch. Oh, hell yeah, let me know, man. Make sure you put that on Twitter. Hell yeah, that's going to be interesting. You know what I'm saying? I think that's cool, man. I'd love to see it. Yeah, Mark Williams. Some people have gone down the rabbit hole. Exactly. What I like to say is some people dive in a pool of Kool-Aid. You know what I'm saying? They're drinking way too much Kool-Aid. 7 p.m. tonight. Awesome. Is it your channel? Make sure you send me the link. But it's whatchamacallit. It's whatchamacallit. It's Kool-Aid. I call blue and green Kool-Aid. You know what I'm saying? For the Xbox, it's diving in a pool of green Kool-Aid, and for the PlayStation, diving in a pool of blue Kool-Aid. You know what I'm saying? And many are drowning in it for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Just take a little cup. You know, a little cup of Kool-Aid. You know, if you like Kool-Aid, it's not so bad. But if you slurping it up, all that sugar, you're gonna get diabetes. You know what I'm saying? You need to relax. It's not that serious. You know, what other people say is irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? Well, what I find even weirder is people who are attracted to channels that always bash your favorite product. And so I'm saying, like, there's some channels I see, I click on it. When I see too much PlayStation bashing, I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't really watch a lot of videos because I already see in the direction they're going. So I'll be like, all right, cool, whatever, and I just move on. I don't stay and try to fight the fight every single time. It's just not necessary. It's just I don't put myself through that. I don't put myself through that misery. You know what I'm saying? So I don't watch a lot of channels. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is. If something's there to learn, I learn. But sometimes if it is, it is. I just move on. You know, that's just me. Oh, excuse me. Got to drink more Pepsi. All right. But overall, I don't want to make this too long because you know what I'm saying. This is more like a quick video and stuff. Again, I'm glad most of you are rocking out to me or rocking out with me. If you're an Xbox gamer, enjoy the podcasts, enjoy the tweets. You know, if you're enjoying the interaction you get in this console war, just enjoy it. But don't throttle it. You know, and this is the same thing for the PlayStation gamers. Throttle it. You know, the only thing that counts is you and your device and how you handle that device enjoyment. Don't worry about the corporate stuff. Don't worry about what a developer says or marketing rights or commercials or articles. You know what I'm saying? Don't get huge. Don't get all wrapped into that to where it starts impacting your decision on what you want to do with your device. You know, do what you want to do with your device because it's you and your online friends that are part of that device. That's it. No one can judge you. You can't be judged on what you enjoy. It's impossible to be judged. All right. If somehow bothering you, if something's bothering you, you know, for example, if when that whole green disc came out, if that actually bothered you, you have to sit back and relax and ask you, why did a comment like green disc isn't sexy or green disc aren't sexy bother you in the first place? What is it that made it bother you? You know what I'm saying? When it's just a disc. You know, if somebody comes out and says, you know, how many people when for PlayStation first came out before, a lot of people says it looks like one huge giant eraser or whatever, you know, and a lot of people are making fun of the PS4 Pro and, you know, or they're saying the PS4 Slim is the ugliest thing they've ever seen. And I didn't look at my channel. You know what I'm saying? Look at the time frame of when the PS4 Slim unveiling came out. Even I say the PS4 Slim is a bad idea. But when people say it's the ugliest looking thing ever, you don't see me make a channel defending it. I didn't make a tweet defending it. I really don't care if people see the Slim as ugly. And tell you the truth, I really don't have an opinion on the look of the Slim. It's indifferent to me. That's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't matter. No one's making fun of me directly. No one's insulting me. It is what it is. I'm not gonna force people to say no. The PlayStation 4 Slim is beautiful looking. It's just whatever. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of PSVR bashing. I haven't tried the product. Maybe it does suck. Maybe it is good. Maybe it is good. I don't know. I'm hoping it's good because it could potentially bring a new experience and just new ways of gaming to enjoy for gamers. But I don't know. I'm 50-50 on it. I need to see more. I'm not buying it this October. I need to see how it is a year from now, 2 years from now to really get in. And hopefully it's cheaper back then, you know? I mean, by then. But I'm not going crazy about it. I'm not going crazy being like making videos saying, oh, these people are bashing PSVR, their fanboys are stupid. No, I don't need to do all that. If you don't like it, don't like it. It's just, what the hell? They got nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how it is. All right. But since some of you are rocking out with me, I appreciate it. Let me see some comments. Is there something you want me to talk about? Let's see. Bashing in the drama expert community just shows how deeply hurt they are. Let's see. Honestly, no one can ruin a gem for me except for devs making bad games. That's true. Devs could ruin. If we get a shitload of bad games or shitty games, then yes, that could definitely ruin us and stuff like that. Yeah, I see some points. Is there anybody that has questions if you want? Since you guys spent the time, I appreciate, because I know some of you, you took the time out of your day, and I didn't announce this. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't expecting some people to show up, but some of you did, which I truly appreciate. But is before I go, is there anything burning, or do you have any comments that you guys want me to address right now? Is there anything? Bueller? Bueller, nothing? You know what I'm saying? Are you gonna buy the PSVR? No, I'm not buying it at launch, and I'm gonna tell you why. One is expensive. It's not expensive. I can't afford it, but it's not that. But throughout the years, I was one of those gamers that bought everything day one. All right. Even the Sega CD, I bought the Sega CD day one. I bought the 32X. I bought the TurboGrafx 16 CD player. I bought the Nintendo Bazooka, if you guys remember, it's a long time ago. So I bought a lot of third-party stuff. I also bought consoles that didn't stand the test of time. I own the TurboGrafx 16. I own the Saturn. I own the Dreamcast. So I just bought a lot of stuff. You understand what I'm saying? I stopped being one of those gamers that buy everything. The last time I did that was during the PS2 gen, when I had, PS2, GameCube, and Xbox. And I noticed I wasn't playing the Xbox and the GameCube that much. I played the Xbox more than the GameCube because of the online. It was amazing online, for Halo and all that stuff. But then at that point, as I got older, I realized I'm spending too much money and not getting my money's worth simply because more games was associated to one console. And then when the 360 PS3 gen started, and more developers were making games for every platform, it became harder to justify buying multiple consoles for very few exclusives. You understand what I'm saying? With the PSVR, my concern is, with my past experience of buying devices that isn't part of the console day one, they usually fail. You understand what I'm saying? I have yet to have a device, even PlayStation camera and stuff, they don't stand the long term, So am I buying a PSVR now? No, I won't. Does that mean will I ever buy it? It depends. If it's a successful product that has games, I will buy it. That's why I said I'll look into it a year or two from now. If a year or two from now, it actually stands the test of time. Because you got to think, PSVR is going to be very successful this holiday because it's a new product, it's the new thing. What you really want to look at is March of 2017. That's when you'll know about PSVR. March, April, May, the long term. What support is coming out, what games are being released. That's going to tell you the long-term strategy for PSVR. And if people constantly pushing games and more gamers are buying it, which means more companies are interested in making games for it, a lot of the big titles have VR support, then yeah, I'll buy PSVR somewhere down the future and enjoy it. Okay, but right here, right now, I'm just on the fence and I'm leaving it alone and I'm just gonna play. I'm just gonna see how it pans out. Another reason why I'm not buying PSVR or the Pro is because again they're both $399. That's $400. That $400 I want to put towards more games. There's a lot of games I want to buy over the next couple of months. So I'll look into investing in a Pro and stuff like that again in the future and stuff like that. But right now I want to that. Okay. So what's your opinion on mods being allowed by Sony now? So the mods. All right. Sony always allowed mods on the console. And I'm not talking about specifically Fallout 4. I'm just talking about in general. One of the first mods I played on the PlayStation was actually on the PlayStation 3. That was the first time I played a game of mods, and that was Unreal Tournament 3. Unreal Tournament 3 had user-created mods that you can actually create mods on PC and upload it to PlayStation stuff, right? And one of the first mods I played on Unreal Tournament 3 was a map, you know what I'm saying, where they changed the map into third-person mode. So it was no longer first person. You actually played your character like if it was Uncharted or more Gears of War, if anything else. So it was Gears of War, right? So it was Gears of War, Samus versus Halo versus Master Chief. You know, so I loaded this map and it said like Halo Master. It had like little code words. I'm like, let me load this mod up and check it out. And I'm playing. So I was on Team Samus versus Team Master Chief. And you see Samus, and it had Samus gun on, and then Master Chief had that same rifle he always shoots. And we were like, oh shit. And I was like, yo, that was probably one of the most fun maps to play, simply because it was Samus versus, Master Chief. I'm thinking, I don't know how this could be legal. You know what I'm saying? As far as what's happening on Fallout, I'll be honest, I don't know what's going on with Fallout or why the mods Fallout now. I don't know. There's a lot of rumors of what's happening between the two. Okay, I cannot tell you exactly what happened between Fallout and Sony. I can only give you an opinion and what I think. In my opinion, I think Sony is concerned about having Fallout, the way Fallout had mods, the way Bethesda did mods on Fallout. I think Sony was concerned that if anything went wrong with the user created mods to break the game or whatever, that Sony would get blamed for it. You know what I'm saying? Because Sony already has a bad rep with online stability, and quality control in terms of software. I think they were concerned that if people absolutely do anything they want in Fallout, that it could potentially lead to some game-breaking glitch or something, and then people would just use that as another example of why PS4 is fucked up, or Sony doesn't have quality control. You know what I'm saying? I mean, people made a big deal about two-step verification and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So I think Sony was only protecting their own self-interest. You know what I'm saying? Because they were concerned on the quality issues that could potentially arise from Fallout. Do I think it's right? No, I don't think it's right. I think if it's on Xbox and on PC, PS4 gamers should have the same exact, relationship, as they do. Okay. Do I think Sony has a problem releasing games on time? Seems like a big issue right now. Good question mark. You know what I think? I think Sony doesn't want to release games during the holidays. That's just my opinion. Because when was the last time it's been years since Sony released an actual big IP? Granted, last year they had Uncharted Collection, but they didn't have an actual Uncharted 4. I don't think Sony wants to release their games versus the juggernauts of the holidays. You understand what I'm saying? I just don't think that. You understand what I'm saying? I think Sony wants to shift their games towards the beginning of the year all the way up to a certain point. And then when it comes to the fall, they leave that fall holiday to the big players of the industry. My only problem is Sony just needs to do that. Stop saying, hey, we're going to release a game in October, or we're going to release a game in November. And then you realize, not a good idea. Let's put it to February. Let's put it to March. It's more optimum to release it in March than November because of sales. Don't do fall holiday sales release dates. You understand what I'm saying? And then you won't have that bad rep of delaying games. You won't have that bad rep. If you want your games to be in a window of January to, let's say, August, that's your optimum time window to release PlayStation exclusive, then just say so. But what I think Sony's doing is they have no intention of releasing game in November, October, but they'll say it so that way the game's close, if you know what I mean. And then as you get closer to the game, all right, we're going to delay it to January, February, which is only 2-3 months away from our original date, so it doesn't seem so bad. The best way I could put it, imagine it's February, right? February 2016, right? Let's go back a couple of months. And Sony says, hey, we're going to release a game in November 2016. Well, you have, 8 months away. That's a lot better than Sony truthfully admitting we're going to release the game in March of 2017. Because then you'd be like, oh, my God, now I have to wait a year and 2 months for this game. Well, if Sony says, hey, we're going to release it in September, October, okay, I only have to wait 7 months. And now that you're a month away, hey, we're going to delay it and release it to March. At that point, you're like, oh, this is fucking stupid, but I just got to wait 4 more months for it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a stupid little game, but I think that's what they're doing and I don't think that's genuine. I think they just need to just say, hey, release it this time period. That way people already know, right? You don't plan on buying the game in October. You can focus on other games. And then when the game comes out based on a proper schedule, you can plan on the type of games you want to play throughout the year, you know? Because some people were planning on buying Gran Turismo in November, you know what I'm saying, when they officially announced it. That was their plan, and now it's not there no more. So now some gamers have to readjust on what game they're going to buy for the month of November to fill that void. Sony should just be truthful on that. Now, I would say the biggest delay is The Last Guardian. Sony let that company just get out of hand. 10 years, they should have produced 2 or 3 games by this point. You understand what I'm saying? That's my biggest thing. My biggest thing is you allow the company take, and I can completely understand that maybe the game wasn't right on PS3, because now a lot of first-party developers are talking about PS3, that it wasn't a very good console to develop games for. You know what I'm saying? Which is kind of obvious, given how third parties were very vocal of the cell processor. So maybe the developer was having a hard time with the PS3. Okay, fine. You know, but to release one game in 10 years, the studio needs to pump it. It should have pumped out 2 or 3 games by now. At least 2. Not this one game for 10 years. That just doesn't seem right. That doesn't seem right at all. You know, it doesn't make much business sense. That studio should have pushed out more content. They need to be smarter and hold their first-party studios more accountable for the content that gets released. That's just my opinion. All right, let's see if there's any other questions. What other question you guys have? No Thomas to change for PS5? As a PC gamer, I just picked up the Xbox One S and be getting the Pro. That's Sergio. All right. What else? Anything else? I mean, a lot of people are saying Yoshida, but you gotta remember, Andrew House is actually like the CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment. You know what I'm saying? So he's actually the man in charge of Sony Interactive, of everything. You know what I'm saying? So he's above Yoshida, believe it or not. So we might keep that in mind. Andrew House is the top dog of Sony. Just remember that. At least I think. I could have remember seeing the hierarchy. And I think Andrew House is the top dog pit bull. Okay. Phil Spencer of Andrew House. I'll say this. Andrew House has been with PlayStation, and I'll say this. Phil Spencer really wants the Xbox product to be successful. That's really, he saw what Don Matrick did with the Xbox. He saw the vision of what Don Matrick tried to do in the direction he tried to push Xbox in. And even though Phil was part of it, he wasn't the man to stop it. You know, Don Matrick ran that. Now Phil's trying to correct the ship, and he's doing good. He did great. I think he's doing great. I think he did real great. He gave Xbox a good facelift. You got the Scorpio, which sounds very powerful. Sounds the stuff that you need. He pushed a lot of projects for the online and stuff like that. Does it actually work on OG PS4 in your opinion? I can't really answer that because I haven't seen it. I wish I had a 4K TV and I wish I could tell you. Because right now, Deus Ex, according to the developers, they patched it with HDR to work on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. And then obviously they already announced, like the day of the PS4 Pro unveiling, that when PS4 launches, Deus Ex is gonna have the Pro upgrade, so it's gonna be in Pro mode and it's gonna be HDR. The only thing I can go off of is one of that analysis of oh my god, Digital Foundry. He played Deus Ex on the PS4, and they run the test. They do the bit test, bit 2020 test, whatever. You know, so he's using equipment to see if this is actually happening, and he said yes, it is working. That HDR is working on the PS4. Okay. So how it's working, he didn't describe because he was doing a forum, but I guess they're doing more tests and they're gonna write an article and hopefully we learn. And I hope Sony comes out, either whether it's Mark Cerny or somebody actually comes out and just tells everybody this is how we got it to work. This is how we were able to patch in HDR over HDMI 1.4. This is the technique that was done to bring those vibrant colors on OG and PS4 Slim. So, hopefully they come out and stuff like that. Does it work? I don't know. I can't personally tell you yay or nay. I only know what I read from one of the analysts. Now, me, in my opinion, do I think he's a fanboy? I don't think so. Because remember, Digital Foundry, a lot of people say he's biased, but regardless of what they say, a 1 and a 0 is a 1 and a 0. It's like a light switch. It's either on or it's off. A game's either 1080p or it's not 1080p. You know what I'm saying? A game is either works in HDR or it doesn't work in HDR. So I don't see a Digital Foundry going to come out and say, PS4 game is in HDR when it isn't, because that's going to make them look bad and that's going to make them lose credibility, to which technical analysis is the bread and butter. That's the whole point of Digital Foundry. Digital Foundry doesn't give opinionated reviews. They just talk about technical analysis. It's pretty much saying, hey, is my light on or is it my light off? That's all they try to do. All the gameplay of E3, do you think all those games will come out 2017 or 2018? No. Not all. I could see maybe Detroit being Human coming out in 2017, because that was already talked about before that. I think the one game that might not come, I think the one game definitely that won't come out in 2017 is Spider-Man. I think that's a 2018 game. We're gonna have to see PSX. We're gonna have to see. I think Days Gone is more far along, especially when they showed a lot of gameplay. You could tell games that might come out sooner by how much gameplay they showed. So, Days Gone, they showed a lot of gameplay on that game. So I think that might be a 2017 game. But again, if it's not out by August, then it's a 2018 game. That's just how I see it. If the PlayStation game is not out by August, September, you're not going to see it during the fall. They're going to defer it to 2018, January, February, March. PlayStation already has Horizon. That's coming out in February. Persona 5 is coming out in America during that time frame, and then you have some third-party stuff like that. But the one game I'm definitely expecting to see is God of War and Spider-Man. God of War comes out in March, and they haven't announced it yet. So I don't think God of War is a 2017 game. I think it's going to be a 2018 game. And I think Spider-Man's a 2018 game. So I think right now, besides Horizon, I think Detroit Human. I can see Detroit Human being an August, June, July type game. I can see that. What else? Check PlayStation website how to get HDR to work. I don't think they want to let Microsoft know how they got the HDR 1.4. They're trying to figure out themselves. And maybe. Well, Sergio Perez says, don't think they want to let Microsoft know how they got HDR and HDMI 1.4. They are trying to figure it out themselves. Maybe Sony, because remember, Sony does hardware. That's one thing we all could rely on. Sony does hardware. You know what I'm saying? So if there's anyone who could provide a firmware update to hardware and make it work, it's going to be Sony. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like how Microsoft is good at software in terms of, online integration. If anyone knows how to do online integration, it's going to be Microsoft. So each has their strength. Yeah, so he says, Sergio Perez says, which I find it weird considering Microsoft software company. But remember, if it's about HDMI 1.4, that's an actual hardware piece. So it's trying to find a solution to make a hardware piece work, to do something. That's what Sony's bread and butter is. They do hardware. You understand what I'm saying? That's just their forte. You think Sony will win the next MPD? And can you see the momentum shift in regards to Xbox PS4? All right, so do I think PS4 is going to win September? I don't think so. I highly doubt it. It's a potential. I don't know. And I'm going to tell you why. Why I think Sony won't go back to winning MPDs until the Pro comes out. So before the Pro and Slim came out, I was under the impression that the PS4 Slim will be the primary seller for PlayStation, and the Pro would be the niche seller for people who want graphically demanding games. You know what I'm saying? Meaning the people who already own a PlayStation 4, they'll buy the Pro to upgrade. But people who don't own a PlayStation 4, they're going to go after the Slim. After the revealing, I changed it. My opinion changed. I think PlayStation Pro is going to be the primary seller for new gamers who buy PlayStation. And I'm going to tell you why. The only feature, the best looking feature that the Slim could have provided for gamers is price. Right? That's my opinion. That's really what a Slim's supposed to do. You take the original, make it smaller, which means the components are cheaper, and you sell it at a cheaper price to get in the hands of consumers who make less money. Simple. You know, if they would announce the PS4 Slim for $199, who's going to complain about that? Tell me, who here would complain for a $199 PlayStation 4 console? Nobody. Many of them people with low income, you know, who people can't afford $300, $400, stuff like that. A $199 console and a slew of games already out that are 10, 15 bucks. That is an amazing value just to play games. Screw the HDR, screw the 4K, screw all that. You know what I'm saying? You got a nice, very affordable console. There's games out there for 10, 15 bucks. Man, enjoy some gaming. You know what I'm saying? At a budget price. Budget gaming. Enjoy that budget gaming. But that didn't happen. Sony announced the PlayStation 4 for $299 and then the Pro for $399. There's only a $100 difference, yet such a huge value between the two. One, the Pro has optical out. You know what I'm saying? The Slim doesn't. The Pro has better technology, much more powerful technology than the Slim, right? Does HDR. You understand what I'm saying? And, you know, with the new PlayStation 4 controller, when you connect it, you're able to play the controller wired, which means less input lag from controller to console. It's just a better console all around, and it's only $100 more, you know? And the Pro Slim, I mean, the Slim is $299 with 500 gig. You know, the Pro, it's 1 terabyte default. There is no 500 gig model. It's 1 terabyte default. So you got a bigger hard drive, much more powerful hardware, optical out. You know what I'm saying? It's just a no-brainer. The Slim, there's no purpose behind the Slim. They might as well not just make it. Just get rid of it. Just PS4 Pro. That's it. That's all you're selling. $399. That's it. You know, the $100 you save, there's no bang for your buck. Not spending the extra $100 at all. It's just not at all. It's just a bad value. You know what I'm saying? I feel sorry for anybody who buys a Slim at $299. You got gypped. That's just my opinion. You got ripped off. A $299 Slim, you got ripped off bad. Less hard drive space, no optical out, and the power is so significantly weak. You just, you know, me is different because I bought my console 2 years ago. You understand what I'm saying? But if I were to buy a console now, if I didn't own a PS4, it's the Pro. I'm not paying $299 for a Slim. It's just not, it's terrible. Sony should have just discontinued the PS4 up until this Pro comes out. And then that's it. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Whatever PS4 is left, that's it. We're done. From here on out, it's the Pro, $399. That would have been much better instead of wasting people's time with a Slim. You know, and also people saying, well, you know, it's $100 cheaper. That $100 is not juice worth the squeeze. Collect more cans if you have to. It's just not worth it. You miss out on just way too much to save $100. You know, the Slim should have been, when you look at the Slim and you look at the Pro, Slim should have been $199 and the Pro $399. That's a $200 difference. That makes sense. That $200 is a huge gap. That's almost another console, in you know, when you look at it, you know. But that's just me. So I think Sony will start being more successful once the Pro comes out in November. So I don't think Slim is going to win NPD because I don't think a lot of people who want PlayStation are going to buy it. You know, I think people who want PlayStation are holding out for the Pro. They're going to save a little extra change. They already got their $299. So the next 2 months, you know, a $10 here, $20 here, $30 here. They got their $399. Boom, they going Pro. That's just it. Even if it's just a 1080p, it's just not worth getting the Slim. And I think that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion. Days Gone 2018. I think it might be next year, actually, because they showed a lot of gameplay. They showed a lot of gameplay at E3. They showed a lot of gameplay at Gamescom. You know, so I think that game is a lot further ahead in development. And it's Ben Studios, and Ben Studios been working on a game for like the last 2 years, so I think it's a 2017 game, in my opinion. It could potentially be a 2017 game, maybe, you know, so I could see that. Let me see, look at other comments. because I want to make sure I don't miss anything. Do you think Insomniac will be successful with the Spider-Man franchise? Do you think more Marvel Hero games will follow? I definitely think, and this is, I mean, I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but I think Spider-Man is going to be huge. Go to type in Spider-Man E3 on YouTube and look at the E3 trailer, and then look at the comments. Yo, it's insane the reaction Spider-Man got. Yo, you got guys who are diehard Xbox fans, you know, but they are bigger Spider-Man fans, and they're like, you know, they had no plans of getting a PS4, but they're getting one because of Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? It's a huge iconic character, and a lot of people are saying it's not fair that a Spider-Man character should not be involved in a specific console. It should be something that all gamers should enjoy, simply because a lot of people love comic books, shouldn't be part of this. But it is what it is. Sony found a way to get the rights to make Spider-Man games in this PS4 exclusive, you know, and that's going to push a lot of people to get that game. And if you look at the trailer, it just looks, you know, Insomniac makes great games. They do. They make a lot of great games. I think they make a lot of better action games than shooters, but they make great games. And right now, Insomniac's saying this is their biggest production game ever that they ever done. Sony just pretty much took a check, wrote their signature, and it has no numbers, and they just gave Insomniac, and they're like, here you go. Do what you got to do to make this the best gamers. On top of that, Insomniac writers are not writing the game. They hired Marvel. Marvel writers, the writers for the comic books, they are directly writing the story and everything for this game. So this is going to be big. You know what I'm saying? So the story, you know, so Insomniac is pretty much handling the animation and the gameplay and all that stuff, and Marvel's the one that's writing and penning in the story specifically. And this is not tied to Spider-Man Homecoming. This is his own universe and its own storyline. The next question after that, do I think more Marvel Hero games will follow? If this thing is successful, I think Sony will push on for more Marvel games if they could get it. If they could get the licensing, they will push for that. And that would be huge. That could definitely tip the scale for that. The PS4 will surprise everyone. Skyrim, top-down races, Manus Racing, Killing Floor. Here's my thing. Not going against Scorpio, I think Pro's going to do fine. It's a great price, $399. It is powerful. It's powerful hardware. I know a lot of people, the big negative on the Pro is it doesn't have 4K Blu-ray player. I'm going to talk about me specifically, okay? Just to give you an example. And this, I'm just one example of many, but I want you to hear me out. I bought the PS3 2 months after it launched. It came out November of 2006. I bought in February 2007, so 3 months. And the reason why I bought it in February 2007 because I wasn't in America at the time. I'm a Marine, and I was deployed at the time, so I couldn't buy it day one. So I bought it 2-3 months after. All right. So pretty much I was an early adopter for Blu-ray technology, for the first Blu-ray discs. All right. So since 2007, I've been owning a Blu-ray player. So we're in what, 2016, right? What I'm saying. So like for the last 9 years. So for the last 9 years, I've been a bona fide Blu-ray player. You want to know how many Blu-ray movies I own? Maybe 10, 11. I don't have a lot of Blu-ray movies. You know how many Blu-ray movies I probably rented? Maybe 30. 30 Blu-ray movies I've rented over a 9-year span. Most of the movies I've seen over the last 9 years were either in the theater, streamed, or downloaded. Or somebody gave me a copy on a thumb drive. You know what I'm saying? Take it for what it's worth. All right? Now, there are people during the same time when I bought my PS3 that bought a PS3 for Blu-ray movies, and they own a shit ton. They own like hundreds of Blu-ray movies. They are movie enthusiasts. So, and I know some of them. I know a few who bought a PS3 because of the Blu-ray, and they loved it. They loved the fact that the PS3 had Blu-ray, and they enjoyed the hell out of it. Okay, so they have like shelves of Blu-ray movies, and they collect and they love it. But you know what they don't have on that shelf? Games. The PS3 Blu-ray player was just that. It was literally a Blu-ray player. So movie enthusiasts who bought an Xbox One S for 4K movies, I'm talking movie enthusiasts, that is what an Xbox One S is to them. It's a 4K Blu-ray player, right? To give you an example, Um, on Twitter, there's a Twitter handle, and I'm gonna give a shout out to her. Her name is Astronaut Claire. You know what I'm saying? CLAR, Astronaut Claire. She's kind of like that other guy who does stat tracking and all that stuff. So I use her because she's real cool. She tracks, percentages, console market. She does all that stuff. Kind of like that Zayu guy. She's like, just like Zayu, constant data. She posted data, that JP Morgan and Wedbush, that they tracked on Madden sales. You know what I'm saying? So when Madden launched at the end of August, 56% of Madden sales was on the PS4, despite the fact that for Xbox, it also included the bundled with the Xbox One S. And we all know how the Xbox One S is so great. You know what I'm saying? The Madden Xbox One S bundle is selling great, yet more people still bought the game on PlayStation 4. You know what I'm saying? So you have to ask yourself why. How if Xbox One S is if everybody's doing this and all that, and there's a great feeling, if there's a great relationship between Microsoft and EA, how does PlayStation 4 still have most sales for Madden? How did more gamers go out and buy Madden when Xbox One S was selling? Whether it's the plain model, the Halo model, whatever, it's because a lot of people, I ain't gonna say a lot, I would say people who bought Xbox One S simply bought a 4K Blu-ray player. That is what they bought. That is what's in their shelf. It's a 4K Blu-ray player. They are not going to support Microsoft with games. You gave them a 4K player, they bought one. And that's one of the things that hurt PS3 because it was the best Blu-ray player. And keep in mind, the PS3 was the best Blu-ray player on the market. From what I hear, the Xbox One S is not the best 4K player on the market. The PS3 one was the best one at the time because it was also the only one that you can actually update with firmware. The other ones that came out at that time, you couldn't update it. Whatever you bought, you were stuck with it. PS3 can always be updated. And that shit attracted media TV files by the thousands. So they were all buying that stuff because he was the best VR player. But that's all they did with it. It was a media entertainment center. And you know what I'm saying? So I think Pro's going to do fine. I don't think the lack of a 4K player, it's not going to be the main thing for gamers. I think when gamers this year go into Best Buy and they're interested in 4K, so they get their 4K TV and they're going to be like, all right, so which 4K gaming system should I get? The first thing they're going to ask for, which one for my nice 4K TV, which console is going to provide the best looking games for this 4K TV? That's going to be the first thing on gamers' mind. And the answer is going to be PS4 Pro for this year. Next year's a bigger battle because that's when Scorpio comes out. That's when it's going to get fun. You know what I'm saying? And Scorpio has the edge on that one. But this year, if gamers are interested in the best console with the best visuals for their 4K TV, that's where Pro is going to shine. You know what I'm saying? That's just in my opinion. So I think once Pro comes out, that's where things are going to shift. And then it might shift again with the Scorpio. So we'll see that. Let's see what else. I know I've seen a lot of comments. Looking. Days Gone 2018. I said Days Gone. I think it's 2017, but you never know. We talked about Spider-Man. Spider-Man 2017 holiday. Sony fuck off with delay. I'm telling you. I'll tell you this. Spider-Man will not come out November, December of 2017. That ain't happening. That's not going to happen. They're not. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm not saying the reason why is Sony is not going to battle Call of Duty. They're not going to battle what other big game is out November. Because remember, if you put Call of Duty and Spider-Man in the same window, gamers are going to have to choose. Do I buy Call of Duty or do I buy Spider-Man or do I buy both? Some are going to buy both, right? And some are going to choose one or the other. Or you could put Spider-Man where there is no other big game and everybody buys Spider-Man. You understand what I'm saying? So, for example, let's say we use 100 people. So 100 people in November, certain amount of that 100 people will buy both games, Call of Duty and Spider-Man. Some of those people will just buy Call of Duty, and some of those people will just buy Spider-Man. So you're splitting that 100. Or you could put Spider-Man, let's say like in March, April, where there's no other big third-party game, and you got 100 people, almost all those 100 people are going to buy Spider-Man because there's nothing interfering with them getting it. That's why Sony won't do that. So Spider-Man definitely won't be part of that list. The big games won't come out on that one. I'm gonna tell you what. So hopefully GT Sport doesn't look too much outdated. To Fortune, that would be disappointing. I think part of the huge delay is the developer wants to make sure he comes out with the best game possible. And about 6 months ago, a year ago, he was in an interview and they asked him about PS3. And now, like I said, now that developers are talking about it, he was very disappointed in the hardware of the PS3. He felt it didn't allow him to do what he needed to do for his games. You know what I mean? So he wasn't impressed. But obviously they can't say that during the PS3 gen. Now that it's over, everybody could talk about what they really feel about the PS3. That's just how it is. It is got a bounce, great show. Got someone messaging me to play Forza. Hey, go ahead, play Forza, Mark, man. Take care. Enjoy that game. Let's see. Man is the main reason why I picked up on Xbox One S. Yeah, usually sports games is a console-centric community. Do you think Horizon Zero Dawn will be Uncharted in first week sales? I don't know. That's a good one. I know there's a lot of hype behind it. I'll tell you what. I think Spider-Man is going to beat Uncharted's first week sales. I have a feeling that's going to happen. But with Horizon, I think there's a lot of hype behind Horizon. It's such a good-looking game. It's an RPG. So we'll see. It's kind of hard to say. I agree. But I think one thing that might hold it back is the RPG side. But it's a beautiful-looking game. So we'll see about that. I'm looking forward to that. Oh, shit, Indian Stocks. Hey, man, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it and stuff. Thanks for stopping by. Oh, man, how long have I been on this podcast already? I don't want to keep you guys all day. GT Sport beat Uncharted. I will say this. Yes, GT Sport will be Uncharted. I'm going to say that. And I am not a racing fan by any means. I don't like racing games at all. But Gran Turismo is PlayStation's biggest franchise. It consistently sells. You know what I'm saying? I think Gran Turismo 6, which was the last Gran Turismo on the PlayStation console, sold 6 million units, right? And that was considered low sales. That's low sales for Gran Turismo. When it sold, Gran Turismo 5 sold almost 11, 12 million. Then Gran Turismo 6 sold like 6 million or 5 million. And that's like disappointing sales. So your franchise is huge. When you can sell 5, 6 million and it's not like impressive for the franchise. So with PS4 doing much better than PS3, PS4 gamers buying a lot more games than PS3 gamers, I think Gran Turismo is going to be the biggest selling franchise on the PlayStation platform in terms of exclusives, not multiplats, because we know Call of Duty always holds that title. But in terms of exclusive, that thing's going to be huge and it's going to be insane. Whether it's going to be a good or not, I don't know. And personally, I don't care because, again, I can't stand racing games. It's just not fun to me. It's just not fun just pressing the button, holding it, and just left, right, passing and doing left turns for 3 hours. I just don't find that exhilarating. I'm just not a racer guy. It's just not me. I don't even like driving in Grand Theft Auto, and I could do drive-bys. You know what I'm saying? I think the only game that I enjoyed driving was Batman Arkham Knight. And that's only because I'm a Batman fanboy, and I enjoy driving a Batmobile. But that was more because I'm a Batman fanboy. But other than that, I just don't like driving. Stuff like that. Okay, so, hey, no problem, Suarez. I'm going to be out because it's almost 6 o'clock. And it's time to play some games. I think I'm gonna jump on. I'm trying to decide if I'm gonna jump on Destiny or Mad Max. And Mad Max is a good game. I was surprised. It's a very good game. If you haven't played it yet, try it. Rent it. It's fun. It's great. A little slow in the beginning, but it's a good game. But I think I'm gonna jump on some Mad Max right now. And I think I'm gonna enjoy it. Anyway, thanks for rocking out. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. If you're catching up to the podcast as a pre-recorded thing, hope you enjoy it. If you're new to my channel, subscribe. Check out my other videos and stuff like that. I appreciate you stopping by. I enjoy the fact that thank you all for taking your time. And you're all a great, passionate community, and I appreciate it and stuff like that. Tune into my podcast every Wednesday. I try to make it at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time as best I can and stuff. All right? But until then, hey, enjoy gaming, enjoy the weekend. If you're in the United States, enjoy your Columbus Day. Please don't tweet or comment about Columbus killed all the natives or stuff like that. It's just enjoy gaming, all right? Enjoy your weekend. Thanks for rocking out, all right? You know this sound, right? Let people know, hey, that's the 60 frames, no lag podcast sound. Put it in that comment. Any channel you go to, they be like, yeah, this is my show. Be like, hey, that's Porter Rock's 60 frame no lag podcast. All right, give me pop. I'm just a small man. Don't let these big Walmart level YouTubes shut me down. All right, they coming in like Walmart trying to take down the mom and pop stores. You know what I'm saying? All right, man. Take care. Enjoy. Have a good one. Let me put my symbol to finish up. Oh, look at that. PR77 symbol. Isn't it beautiful? All right. Hey, thanks for rocking out. Hey, y'all guys take care. Enjoy.